I apologize for the delay, everyone. We're going to go ahead and begin here. Want to thank you all for joining, whether it be live or afterwards on YouTube or on our VOD that will be up. The tunage seems a little loud, so I'm going to turn it down real quick. And we're gonna go ahead and dive right in. Yes, the cold one is just sparkly water. So, trying to bring it down here. We're gonna go through a couple things before we begin. I again want to thank you all for joining. This is I would be lying if I didn't address this off the bat. This is my second time casting dice, so I have not done this many times just yet. It's still relatively new to me, but it's not my first time. So my biggest fear was getting on here, trying to tell you all how to do this, making a huge mistake, and then it just not being fun to watch. It just kind of being cringy. So I have done this once before, and these are actually the wonderful dice that I made, and we'll look at those in a little bit. But we're gonna go ahead and go over some basic stuff before we dive in here. Just some materials that you'll need to do this, and some stuff that I've found that worked last time I did it and didn't work. So we won't do that again. But I mean, obviously the very first thing you're going to need is gloves. So safety gloves. We're going to be working with epoxy resin, which is very sticky. It can be very toxic. And so making sure you don't get it on your fingies is going to be incredibly important. Obviously, to cast a dice, you're going to need some dice molds. I actually got these online. These are very nice molds, and we're just going to be using I've been like back and forth with what I want to do today, so I think we're just going to start out by using one. This is the D4, and how these work is you actually they peel open when they're all done casting, but there's a D4 in there. So we will be utilizing that. I have a whole set here, so I have a percentile dice, and that's a D6. These are sharp edge dice, so these are the really fun ones that when you look closely, they have those nice Krispy Kreme edges that everybody wants on their dice. So really pretty dice to have on you. So we are actually moving back to what we need. So we got our gloves, got our molds, a couple cups. We're going to be using some plastic cups. I always have a dump cup, which is where I put my, I actually forgot a thing. I'll have to go get it eventually. A dump cup where I put all my trash, everything that I have already used that's super sticky and I don't need anymore. I just dump in a dump cup. Some canned air. This isn't a must. I actually came up with this one myself. I just figured it would work, and I've done it, and it has worked, so I'm just going to keep doing it. But this is just to spray out the inside of your molds before you use them. So we'll be using that before we get started. Obviously, our resin, which you can buy this off Amazon. I bought 2 quarts. There's a hardener and then the actual epoxy. So it doesn't actually harden until they mix together. So once you mix your resin, you have like 45 minutes to work with it. I made the first mistake when I originally did this of doing it not fast enough, and it ended up completely hardening on me before I could pour it, and I had to start all over. So there is a trick to that. We're going to also be utilizing some of these pipettes. These are also found on Amazon. I pretty much got everything off Amazon, so just to answer that question. These are designed to suck up the resin so that we can pour it in here in a little tube without getting our fingies dirty. That's a fun little tool. We're going to be using a couple because they actually feel really slow and we want to maximize our time. Also, resin dye. So this is fun stuff. This is a cloverite. This is what that color looks like when it's used in resin, and it's just typical dye, but it's designed for epoxy and resin and UV resin as well. Also stirring sticks. I have this little thing. We're gonna use this today to dump our leftovers in. We're gonna line the bottom with a little bit of the resin color, and that's gonna go along with what the point is of this little craft. So when we're done, when it hardens, it'll have like a layer of color, and then the dice will sit on top of there. And then when you use this dice, it will be contained in this until you need to use it. We'll talk about that in a sec. You guys actually get to witness me unpacking one of these things too. This just came in today. So you may have noticed that none of these dice have dye on the numbers. You know, when you have a dice, they will have some kind of coloring on the numbers. This is a completely bare dice. Well, this is ink, acrylic ink that you actually fill the numbers with, and you can wipe it down with a paper towel as well to get the excess off. So we may do that depending on how long this goes. But let's quit talking and let's freaking get to it. So again, very first thing we're gonna need to do, take a quick sip here, is get our cups ready. Oh shoot, also we have over here a container of hot water. And the hot boiling water we're gonna use that to warm our resin once we mix it, or while we're mixing it. And that actually causes it to cure a lot stronger. So we'll do that once we get there too. I like to have a spare cup. I'm not planning on using it, but I like having the spare just in case I goof. So we have our cups, we have our molds here. So what we're actually gonna be making today is Aaron from our podcast has a spell called Ray of Frost. Many of you TTRPG players will be familiar with that spell. In Pathfinder 2nd Edition was what we play, I believe, and if somebody knows better, please save me before I get doing this. I believe it's a D4 plus his spellcasting modifier. So if I'm wrong with that, that's whatever, but I just want to make sure the dice is right, because we're going to make a D4 here with some blues. I think we're gonna do like a little blue here, and we'll mix it with a white, so it's got kind of that frosty. This is called snow, and then we have just blue. I don't know why they didn't name it. The rest of them are like fruit and stuff, like the names are fruit, but for some reason blue just got the short end of the stick, and it's just blue. But we will go ahead and do some of that, and we'll mix that all together. But I'm thinking how I'm going to do it is just not mix it. I'm going to dump everything in one cup, and I'm going to mix it and add a little bit of mostly white, and then we'll add a little bit of blue dye in there and kind of swirl it, not too much, so we can kind of keep that cool looking marble effect. It could totally suck, and it might not work. We're going to try it out. But let's go ahead and get started here. So we want to make sure that we're pouring in equal parts on these containers here. So I'm actually going to get this out of the way. Get it on my newspaper. Also, yeah, if you're going to be doing this on tables, very important to have a something down to where you don't pour like onto your table or dribble onto your table. Another thing is you don't need a lot. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate that. I want to make sure that I'm right here. You do not need a lot of resin. I made a full set yesterday. I had a boatload left over, so I actually poured some in a container, a little potion container over here. I'll actually pull that out in this right now. So I poured the residual, right there, in that little thing. I'm not gonna grab it, it's too far. And I don't want to knock anything else over. So as you can see, we have very little in that cup. We want to make sure it is equal parts. And the epoxy is much thicker. So I'll actually pour the hardener into this cup when I'm done measuring this out. It just glops. It just boom. Just glops right in there. I think that's about right. We'll see. Let's compare. I give it a sec to even out. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. We'll give it a sec to level. No, that's actually really good. That's great. Look at me, man. I'm so freaking good. All right. So we'll go ahead and, with that, pour our hardener. Let me make sure I'm actually super ready before I do that, because I'm just getting ahead of myself. I'll get my pipettes, get my stir stick, which is just a knife. I'll get my die is right here. Excelente. My mold is ready. Drink, check. I'm going to dump it in there. Yeah, we're set. We're set. And then we're going to get, actually, okay, here we go. We're going to move the hot bath into the middle. Not boiling, but definitely hot enough to warm up our resin. People call it a warm bath. I'm gonna scoop that boy out. Make sure we're getting every last drop. And this is just a 1-to-1. Make sure that if you are doing this at home that you check your ratios, because sometimes it's a 2-to-1. And I would hate to see you make a mistake because you're following me. That is about it for that. I'll do one last scrape because I'm anal. I'm trying to, another thing, the technique that really comes into play here is like getting air bubbles out. And I'm super not good at that yet. So, this set that I made, I'm gonna put this over here. The set that I made that's got the green and the red in front of it is actually, we're in a dippy here. It's actually really good for how poor I did making sure, trying to keep the bubbles out, because it just bubbles up really bad. So as you can see in there, it's just real goopy. Try to get it to focus on the goop but not my hand. Oh yeah, boatloads of bubbles. Very good, Zach. I think the trick is to just like keep it all like localized. I don't know what I'm talking about. Most people utilize pressure pots, and the pressure pots are what they're gonna pull all those bubbles out. But I don't have $200 to drop right now to get all that. Okay, so we're looking nice and mixed. I'm gonna let it sit a little bit more here. We're gonna get our dye out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now it's nice and it's feeling good. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, so here comes the tricky-ish part. The fun part, but the tricky part. We gotta get our color right now. So like I said I'm gonna do white more than anything. So we'll go ahead and drop some white, some snow dye in the mix here. And this is gonna be difficult to see, I think. Oh, maybe not. It's really popping there. We want it pretty thick. I want it semi-opaque. And this is like gonna be a good test run too, because I don't know if this kind of dye is gonna make it opaque or if it's gonna just make it like cloudy. It's looking pretty opaque. Looking pretty opaque, which is good. Ooh, that looks special in there. Oh man, it just like, did it suck? It's so opaque, that's awesome. Very snowy, if you can see that. Holy, look at that. Look at the snow. Yeah, I know it looks like glue or maybe something inappropriate, but man, that's fun. That really just took that right out of there. So I'm getting so excited about this white stuff in this cup here, but I love it. Man, that's great. All right, cool. So now we're gonna do the blue. I'm nervous. I just hope it doesn't like get weird in there. I just want to swirl it slightly. And I've seen people do multiple things, but maybe we'll just do we'll make it fun. Sorry. Sorry, dilly willy dilly dilly. We're gonna drop a few blue. Oh man, that's gonna be a lot. We'll see what this looks like. And then we'll get ready to cast it. Okay, I think, yeah, this is we're gonna just try it. We're gonna go for it. Okay, so yeah, that's what, see, just like a slurry. It's kind of like a blue. Okay, I think that's all I want to do. That's it. I just want this like blue, like swirls and stuff in there. I want that white to come through nice and strong. It's like a snowball frost more than anything. So I'm gonna take my pipettes now, and we're gonna start filling these. So how you do this is you want to squeeze, and then drop them in. You don't want any air getting sucked up in there, else it's gonna be a mess. But now, while those are filling, we're gonna take our little dye here. Spray out the residue from this morning. It's nice and ready. And while these fill, yeah, they're filling. Looking great. You guys keep it up in there. I just feel definitely want to take your time to talk about the old P-cast. So we're coming up on, oh shoot, like episode 12. I think episode 13 is the following week. Chance is gonna be so mad if he hears me mess this up. But a good, nice little like loot and run for those of you who, if anybody is viewing that has never listened to our show, check it out. The Basically Good podcast. It's been just a ride to do this. So, but for most of you who are watching, you are going to be fans already. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, yeah, that's what I thought. All right, so listen in. It's gonna be, oh gosh, yes. Episode, okay, I forgot where we left off. That's right. So it's episode 12. You need to listen because it gets serious. It's going to be very, very, very intense. So listen in. Those of you who haven't listened, catch up. It's going to be a ride. On top of that, I really, really, really need everyone who's watching to listen to this. Paizo, recently, earlier this week, it was the creator of Paizo, one of the creators of Paizo, of Pathfinder actually, announced that they are stopping shipping currently, just due to this COVID thing, and are unable to get out their product. So they, in turn, are losing a lot of money right now. We, Basically a podcast, we just as a bunch of friends love... We love Paizo, we love their game, and we're actually doing a giveaway right now they did put on, all their PDFs are still available, which means that we can buy them, download them, and assign owners to them. We're already giving away 2, but for every 25 reviews we get on our Apple Podcasts, every 25 Apple Podcast reviews we receive, we're going to be giving away 1 additional PDF. We really want to just go bankrupt, so if you haven't done so already, please go leave us a review. Go find the tweet, like it, retweet it. It's not too far down the list, just to get the word out. If anything, just get the word out. It's huge right now. It's very important that we do what we can, we believe, to help them stay, afloat just during this super tough time. So with that being said, please do what you can. We definitely want to help out as well. So I think we are getting to the point where, yes, these are nice and full. So we're just gonna see, as you can see, dribbles. So you want to keep pressure on it. You don't want any air getting in there. We're just going to pop it in there. And with these D4s, it's super important that we fill up the corners first. Oh, shoot, you can't even see. You want to fill up the corners in the mold. And mine are translucent, so you can see pretty well, which is awesome. Because we want those corners to come through really well. So I was able to actually work that in there. Now we're just going to fill. Uh-oh, I'm leaving like a residue in there, and I can't tell how much is out and what's still needing to be filled up. Oh my gosh. Okay, a big air bubble. That's what we didn't want to happen. But it's actually looking pretty full, so we'll be able to... Oh no. That is a rough color, gang. Whew. That is a little creamier than I wanted. Okay, so we're gonna try to salvage this. This is a little creamy. It's a little thick. So we're gonna take the blue, and I'm actually gonna drop a drop on top of it, on top of the mold. And no worries here. We're gonna just put that right on top. And I'm going to take a toothpick, which I'm gonna go grab. It is a magic missile. Boom. Magic missile. Be right back. Hold tight, everyone. Yeah, I know. It's actually rough. Thank you for your patience as I come back here. Oh, is that better? Should I have turned on the light maybe a little earlier? Gracious. Okay, so I grabbed some toothpicks. So what we're gonna do here is grab a little toothpick. And we're gonna press the color actually into the mold. So hopefully some of this blue will come through. I'm gonna try to like send it down the side. And swirl it in there. Get some of that blue coming through. Oh yeah, the light's helping a ton. It's helping me a ton. Okay, yeah, maybe that looks a little better in there. You guys, the world may never know. I'll have to post pics when this is all said and done. See, that's a little better. That's a little, okay, sure. It's okay, these are really nice molds. They shirk resin pretty well. Okay, yeah. I feel better, you know? I feel better about that. I'm gonna drop this over there. Okay. Yeah, look at that. You get the little blue inside. You freaking kidding me? That's so good. Oh, it looks like it's gonna look like candy when it comes out, is what it's gonna look like. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, I love that. That actually, I feel like I saved that. That looked really rough initially, but I'm glad that we were able to do that. We're gonna go ahead and set that to the side. Actually, we'll actually display this. How about that? We'll display the one. I'm feeling it still. So, well, let's actually, we're gonna pop some of this in here because this is actually, we're gonna put this in as like a jar that Aaron actually like pops. He pops the. Oh yeah, that's very musky, unfortunately. But we're gonna house that D4 in here. And we're just gonna actually pour the rest. Get a little on the side there for character. I swear, I look away for 1 second and just pour all over. That's not as bad as I think I thought it was. It looks a little creamy still, but it's still pretty good. It turned out okay. This hides the bubbles for sure. All right, we're gonna call that a day, baby. And I'm gonna take, again, some more blue dye. Make that a little swirlier. Push it on the sides there. Okay, yeah. That's pretty bad. But it's just leftover. So you know what? That's gonna work for now, I think. I need to wipe some of it off. Into the dump cup with these. Oh, dude. It's actually a blast. Like, as much as I'm so bad at it, it's so freaking fun to do this stuff. We're gonna keep going, I think. I would love to make... Hey, resident DM Chance, what is the Alchemist Fire damage die? Is it a D6? I think it is. Or is it a D4? I'll have to look it up if I just get no reply. That's okay. Oh, it's a D8. Wow. Putting out some serious firepower, which is dope. Okay, so we're gonna do a D8. And we're gonna make a smoky alchemist fire for our sweet boy Frizzy Gig. Where's the black? It's over here. Nope. Need to find my black dye. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so we're gonna just do. I think I've seen people do. Okay, yeah. So looks like it's the most. The Alchemist Fire is the most powerful alchemical bomb. And our boy Frizzy Gig does enjoy doing his Alchemist Fire, so we're gonna go ahead and do that, I think. And I think I want to do. It's more like I'm gonna make it more like smoke than fire. I'm gonna try to do one of those smoky dice. So what we're gonna do here, this will probably be a little tricky because, sorry, I'm looking through my molds here, because we're gonna need no bubbles. So we'll go ahead and do, I picture it being like a dragon fire in Game of Thrones, but red instead of green. Oh, yeah, like it sticks to you kind of thing. Okay. Well, maybe we do. Okay. Well, what do you think? Should I aim for like kind of a clear coat, like a crystal, like a glass dice with smoke like in it, to where it kind of like trickles down and gets all smoky, or like red and orange and yellow, like an actual fire? My cat's on top of me now. Dang it. I will go to the audience for this one, because I think the smoke is cool, but also it's fire. It's not smoke. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go with the smoke because I think that's pretty dope. We'll make some red ones later. But again, we're gonna just jump on over to our supplies. We don't need a lot. I actually had a bunch left over on that one, but there's only it's hard to gauge, so we're just gonna do a little there. I think the D8s take a little bit more, but again, it's not gonna be a ton.
I said at that time, if I ever have the power, I will build a house.
A black and red combo. I don't know how to do that. I only know how to do like the one tap, like on top. Because if you try to drop a drop in there first, I'm just worried. I mean, we can try it. Sorry, the cat's gonna come on up here, I think, and I'm gonna be pissed about it because he shouldn't be up here. God damn it! Psst. I apologize. Okay. So we have very little, but I think that should do it. Yeah, that should do it. Let's just pour her in. Okay, you know what? Let's try the freaking red and in black. Let's do it. Let's just try it. We're gonna put a drop into the mold, and then we're gonna do a drop of smoke on top, and then kind of blend it up once it's already in there with some toothpickies. Let's let the mixing process begin here. I'm gonna try to keep this pretty mild. Bring our hot water over. What that does is like it breaks it up, I think. Just like it's like warming up anything really, just like loosens it. So it's, yeah, that's awesome. Just moves a little easier. You want to do this for, the more you, I mean, you're not going to get in trouble for like combining them too much. Like the more you mix, the better, honestly. It's going to give you a better product. Okay, yeah, that's nice. That's good and mixed. So, okay, this is what I think we're gonna do here. I'm gonna let this sit for a sec. And then we're gonna I'm gonna go ahead and spray out the D8 here. Sorry that just blew everybody's speakers. It looks good. I'll make sure that's nice and contained. And then I'm gonna take a drop of the red, the little cherry here. And we're gonna okay. We have dropped it in there. And then this hopefully has settled a little bit. It hasn't. It's still got a ton of bubbles in it. Going for a crystal clear color here. I just don't know if we're gonna get it, hopefully. Just tapping the bottom here of the cup to see if we can get some of those bubbles to at least come to the top. Because if they can do that, then we can just pull from the bottom. Get some of that clear. We may be out of luck here. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. We'll let that fill. And then once that fills, we'll throw it in there. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw it. We're gonna take the resin, we're gonna drop it in here, and then I'm gonna take a toothpick and I'm gonna stir it up, and I'm gonna try to get that red on the bottom to like come up looking like fire, up the sides kind of, and really like crawl up the dice, and then we'll add the smoke on top and kind of like drill it down in there, so it kind of looks like a miniature fire, which could be pretty neat. Yeah, it's coming. They say you should get a torch. I don't have a commercial torch right now. I may get one. But even a like torch lighter works, and you can just like buzz the top of it. But I don't have one of those. I have like a Zippo and another like light flame lighter. So hopefully that's a good way to pop the bubbles for those who are wanting to try some of it. But for right now, I mean, like, wah, it is what it is. Gosh, I actually can't believe that we are releasing episode. Is it? Yeah, episode 12 next week. That is crazy. That is and not only just like how far we've gotten, but just like it's a big episode. So I'm very excited to hear that. Got another pre-pod coming out as well. So for those of you who like that, again, we're continuing our trend of having a pre-pod out every week with this awful virus going around. So look forward to that. That'll be a good one as well. Oh, okay. We're going to go ahead and drop this in. It's nice and clear. So that's good. We're going to pull it out before we drop the air in there. We'll refill it. I only had the one down here. Yeah, so that's looking like... Oh, look! It already is like kind of popping up the side there. Okay. I'll go ahead and mix that in a little. Fine with me. Okay, that dropped in a blue dot of resin, so we won't use that toothpick. We'll grab another one. So I'm just gonna try to work that down. Yeah, yeah. That's pretty neat. We'll go ahead and drop this next little dribble in there, and then while it's filling again, I think we'll have to do one more fill. Yeah. We'll take a look at my other set that I made. Gosh, these gloves. You need them, but they're really annoying. All right. Again, similarly with the D4, we got to get these corners of this D8 because it's tricky and won't want to get in those corners. Oh, I got him. Oh, shoot! Big blunder that I just did was I just pumped the mold full of air. I wasn't paying attention and it poofed in there, which is just a travesty. So hopefully it doesn't ruin our dice with a big fat air bubble. Oh, I'm pissed, but it's gonna be okay, I think. It looks okay. Yeah, kitty. So we're going to take a look at my dice. So I just made these like less than a day ago. Actually, a little bit over a day. But these are my new dice. I'm gonna have to sand out some of those tips. You can see, I clipped them from the mold, but I need to polish them up. But these are Urkel's new dice. They got his skin tone, so I wanted to he's got like a tealish green skin. It's less than your traditional half-orc kind of darker green. But he recently purchased those brass knuckles, and I wanted to kind of use those more in the future, just because I love the idea. He's a high-strength character, high-strength hero, so he punches like a truck, and I wanted to have kind of a bloody knuckle kind of style of set, so that's why there's a little bit of blood hanging off the tips of these. So really, those came out super good for my first little set. There's definitely some blemishes, but I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out. So I'm gonna try to do more sets for all of our characters and hopefully get those out to the boys. Surprise! Shortly. So everybody can have a cool little custom dice set. So we're gonna finish filling this, I think. I did it again. Blew another bubble in there. Okay, so that actually looks pretty dope. That looks like blood, though. So hopefully we can get some smoke in there and make it a cool little thing. Yeah, that's wild, actually. The way that red just creeped around there. There's some cat hair. Gosh, it's all stuck to my gloves. My cat. So we'll top this off here. And that's plenty. What we want to do is make sure that the top is overfilled. You really want to make sure that as the bubbles kind of settle out, that there's resin on top to get sucked in, or else you get like a weird concaved looking dice. So I'm actually doing this thing called burping, where you like kind of push out bubbles that could be in there. Yeah, you see some of them coming to the top there. Make sure our mold is lined up, which it looks like it is. Yeah, that was a big bubble in there. Okay. Yeah, let's get the black in there. I'm gonna take these gloves off. I'm over it. OSHA, come after me. So we're gonna take a dab of black here. Just gonna drop it right on top. Boom. Actually, let's not do that. That could be really sharp, so I'm just gonna roll a toothpick in some of the black. Whoop, like so. And we're gonna just shove it in there and see what it looks like, just to start us off. Oh, it doesn't look like it did anything, so that's a good sign. Yeah, that's a really good sign. So we can actually put a drop there, that's good. Time to get the beautiful smoky effect. If you pull it up, it actually sucks it in there. So you can kind of see that that smoke is gonna settle in there. Sorry about all the freaking cat hair, gosh. I don't know if you can see that. But that smoke is gonna sit kind of right on top of that red, kind of starts from the bottom. That almost looks necrotic. So hopefully it turns out looking okay. But definitely a weirder one. Let's see if I can like do a little tornado with it. Trying to get the extra resin that's on top of this to kind of pool. So again, so it doesn't concave on me. Okay. Yeah. Order up. One Alchemist Fire dice. Boom. So that's all good. We'll display that as well. We'll go ahead and get this out of here. Oh, we have a ton left over, as usual. We'll display that, and we're gonna go ahead and move to Yeah, there's a ton of bubbles on top of this now. That's cool. So we'll just, that's gonna be left over. I would like to move to, we're gonna try this out. I wanna try out inking a dice. So we're gonna use this bad boy. This is my first ever attempt at a cast. We'll see if it, there it goes. Just a nice little ruby. I just did a D20 and I want to ink it white just because that's what I bought. As you can see, I sunk this in too much. I didn't add enough resin, so it just like cracked in on me. There's a couple other blemishes. But all in all, really fun. Nice little dice. It's got a nice color to it, which is cool. We're gonna go ahead and ink this. I'm not gonna polish it anymore. I bought some polishing papers. We're just gonna ink it, and I just want to try that. This is meant to be kind of a dummy dice. Oh yeah, nice. So this just has a little dropper on it. We're gonna, how you do this is you're just gonna wanna move that so I don't drip. You just wanna get a dab of ink. I got some acrylic white ink here. And we just want a drop. Let's start with the 20. I can't find it. There it is. It's very vibrant. So we want to squish it in there. Take a little rag here and just wipe off the excess. Oh, we're gonna try it again. Because it didn't get all of it. I need like, oh, I was like, I need some water. Ha ha! We have some. Okay, I think I'm doing something wrong. Because I feel like I have less in there now. So I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna be a little softer. It looks like we're gonna do the 14 as well. Yeah, I don't know like a good way to do this. I wanna say maybe like that? Like you just like, you like leave it and then come back later and wipe it off once it's dry? Probably. Probably. Yeah. But it looks awesome. I mean, you can see it looks... Yeah. Your 20 there. It looks great. Yeah, I'm battling on whether or not I want to ink these bad boys because they just look sharp. I'm trying to figure out what color I would do if anything. anyway, I think that is where we're going to call it this evening. I just wanted to get at least one of those numbers on there, and I'll keep you updated with what I find out about inking. But turns out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with our little weird dice that we made here. Our beautiful alchemist fire that'll turn out awesome, I'm sure. And then our blue, creamy looking Ray of Frost dice there. That's gonna be great. Thank you all for joining, for chatting. It was a pleasure as always. Be sure to catch tomorrow's episode of basically Good Podcast, episode 12. It's gonna be crazy, as well as the pre-pod. Again, like I mentioned before, please go check out our giveaway post on Twitter. It's crazy. Paizo actually retweeted it themselves. Again, anything we can do to help at this point. So check it out. Leave us a review if you haven't already. But I think that's gonna be all for today. Thank you for joining me. Have an excellent rest of your afternoon.